everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today I'm going to look at the Neca Terminator Dark Fate T-800 and Sarah Connor action figures. Now you may notice that I have two of the T-800s. Well, I really like the way this guy looked, his clothing, and the body sculpt. And I thought he'd make a great civilian, thug, or henchman in my action figure universe. So I'll have him displayed with either both different heads, or perhaps pop a different head on him altogether. Now I must say, I personally have not seen Terminator Dark Fate yet. I'm a huge Terminator fan, but I didn't see Genesis in theaters. I kind of want to wait to see Dark Fate at home, where I can enjoy it sort of in my own way. I guess I'm part of the problem, because I've heard Dark Fate's really not doing that well. The fact they brought Linda Hamilton back really intrigued me. I heard Edward Furlong has a little cameo in there. And of course Arnold. I mean, it sounds like everything a Terminator fan would want. Not sure what the problem is. Look forward to seeing it soon as it's out on Blu-ray and DVD. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. So here's the T-800. You can see Arnold there. He really looks a lot younger than he does in real life and in the film. He's got three different nice looking weapons. T-800 here. On the top here, Terminator Dark Fate. We've got the eye of the Terminator here in the corner. One side here, Terminator Dark Fate NECA. Other side, we've got the Terminator with his endoskeleton without a skin on. Bottom here, got a barcode and a bunch of credits. This is the T-800 barcode in case you need it. Then the back side, Terminator Dark Fate, T-800, a little description, and then there's the robot. As far as Sarah Connor goes, we're in the same packaging. Here's her barcode if you need it. And the back side, Sarah Connor, a little description of the film. So with no further ado, let's open these guys up and compare them with a bunch of other Terminator figures. Alright, now that we got these guys out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. And they do come with quite a bit. Definitely a lot of guns. The T-800 here, he's got a rather large light machine gun. Then he's got another machine gun with attached grenade launcher. And then he's got a grenade launcher. And then Sarah Connor here, she's got an assault rifle, a shotgun, and a revolver. Definitely loaded and armed up. They also come with alternate hands, and each one of them comes with two heads, one without sunglasses and one with sunglasses. Pretty cool for me because I got the two T-800s. It's nice to have two different display options for them. But before I look at the accessories, let's check out the actual figures. Like I said before, I thought this guy looked really cool. He looks like just a regular person. I thought the head looks pretty nice. The collar popped up. The jacket, the sculpting detail's nice. Got that black t-shirt underneath. I think it just looks pretty nice altogether. I mean, the little strap back there. He's got blue jeans, nothing super special going on there. And I really must say, I like his boots quite a bit. And then we've got Sarah Connor here. As you can see her face, this is an older Linda Hamilton. I think the likeness is pretty nice. She's got her bulletproof vest on, military green shirt underneath, very reminiscent of her T2 outfit. She's got black jeans. I like the belt there. Little pouch here on the side. And then some boots. And then here the figure is broken down as far as they can go, with all the removable parts detached. So next, let's check out all their accessories. Let's go and start off with the T-800. So let's go ahead and look at the T-800's accessories. He's got a total of 4 hands, 2 heads, and 3 guns. Let's start off by looking at his hands. So here he is with the first set of hands. These are the default hands the figure came attached to him. On his right hand here, he has a gripping hand with a little bit less of an obvious trigger finger than the other hand. And then his left hand here is also a gripping hand. Looks like it holds something rather large. Looks like it's intended to support the barrel of his weapon. And then here he is with his second pair of hands. He's got a right hand gripping with a more obvious trigger finger, and the left hand, which is also gripping, can hold something a lot smaller. Looks like it's going to be intended to hold the secondary handle on his grenade launcher. Next, let's check out his heads. This here is an older Arnold Schwarzenegger acting in this film, and I must say the heads look a lot younger than he looked in the trailer. We've got one with no sunglasses and one with sunglasses. So here's his first head, his default head that he came with, without the sunglasses. It's a pretty decent Arnold likeness. Just looks a little younger than he does in real life. I really like the stubble on the beard. Really like the way that looks. Looks like he's got a little bit of an injury below his right eye. He's got a nice little fade in the background. Hair very short near the bottom. Really like that collar as well. Overall, pretty good head. And then here he is with his other head with the sunglasses on. Now I'm pretty sure these are the exact same head, just slapped some sunglasses on. As you can see, the sunglasses are actually, they could be removed. You can slide them up and he's got fully detailed sculpted eyes, the same wound under his right eye and his cheek. It looks good, kind of interesting that they're not molded on there, but probably was cheaper that way for Neca not to have to sculpt two different heads. And then here are both the different heads next to each other. Here's one head from my fodder pile that I thought might work on my extra body for this guy. This is a McFarlane Walking Dead Daryl Dixon head. Next, let's check out his guns. Here he is holding one of the machine guns. This is the larger of the two. I use his more extended trigger finger to hold, to work better in this, and then his left, more open hand to support the barrel. I must say, I think it looks pretty good. Here he is holding his next machine gun. It looks like it's a grenade launcher combo, using the same extended trigger finger on his right hand and the same open hand on his left to support the barrel. This gun looks pretty nice as well. And then here he is holding his grenade launcher. I was able to swap out his left hand for a little bit smaller gripping hand to support the second handle here. Overall, looks pretty cool. And one thing to add, it has a little bit of articulation on the gun here. The place where the grenades can rotate, which is a pretty nice little feature. Next, let's check out Sarah Connor and her accessories. Two right hands, a left hand, two different heads, an assault rifle, a shotgun, and a revolver. Here she is with her first set of hands. Even though she only has one left hand, it was able to be removed with ease. It's sort of relaxed, open, unable to hold anything. And then her right hand here, this one has a trigger finger, a little bit less obvious than the other hand. And then here she is with her other right hand. Both of them have trigger fingers, but her index finger is slightly different on both of them to accommodate different weapons. Here are her two different heads, one of which has no glasses and one has sunglasses on. Here she is with her first head, the default head she came with, no sunglasses on. This here is an older Linda Hamilton, and I must say the likeness is great. She got some wrinkles on her forehead. One little annoying thing on mine, she's got a little bit of flesh color on the inside of her hair. But beyond that, I think it looks really good. And here she is with her other head. Pretty sure it's exactly the same, only sunglasses attached. They're not sculpted, they're sort of glued on. Can't really pull them up like the T-800, but I pretty much guarantee it's the exact same head underneath. Next, let's take a look at her guns. Here she is holding her assault rifle. Got her left hand supporting the barrel. Looking pretty nice. Here she is holding her shotgun, kind of got the same setup. Trigger finger holding it with her right hand and her left hand open, supporting the barrel of the gun. Now, kind of like the T-800, she's got a little bit of articulation on this gun here, so you can pull this thing down. It's hinged, which is pretty cool, and you could have her holding it like so. Here she is holding her revolver or pistol. Arm extended, holding it, had to switch to the different hand, a little bit of a tighter grip. This gun's a little bit smaller than the other ones. Of course, she can hold it up next to her head as well. Now that we've taken a very good look at their accessories, next let's check out the height of these figures. So the T-800 here, from bottom to top, sitting at just a little bit above 7 inches. I'd say about 7.15 inches or 18 centimeters. And then Sarah Connor here, she's sitting at about 6 3/4 inches tall, about 17 centimeters. Next, let's check out their articulation. So the T-800 here, starting with his head, of course, can go from side to side, and it can look up and down about that far. Shoulders on a ball joint, they can go out a full 90 degrees, no problem. Up, down, around, all that fun stuff. He's got double jointed elbows done in one of Neca's different sort of styles. Got a large piece of plastic here where the joint is between them. So the top part and then the bottom part, you can go in about that far. It does have a swivel at the top and a swivel at the bottom as well. His hands here, they're on a peg. Can kind of move around just a hair. Really not a lot of articulation going on with his hands. On the inside here, he does have some kind of a ball joint underneath his t-shirt here. Allows him to kind of move around quite a bit, and it feels like he's got another ball joint here where this waist articulation would be, allowing him to bend forward about that far and up about that far. Does allow him to rotate from side to side. Nice little bit of articulation going on there. His legs can go out about that far. Ball joint on the inside. His legs can also move independently of the ball joint, as you can see there. They go forward about that far, back really not at all. He's got single jointed knees with a swivel at the top. Then his feet here, they go up and down just a tiny bit, and they can rotate around a little bit as well. Next, let's check out Sarah Connor's articulation. Starting with her head, of course, you can go from side to side. You can look up and down about that far. Shoulders on a ball joint, go out full 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that fun stuff. Single jointed elbows and go out not quite 90 degrees, but pretty close. Of course, there's a swivel at the top there. Her hands are on a peg. They can rotate around, and there is a hinge there as well. She's got here's a ball joint under here. Doesn't really have a lot of range of motion because of her vest here. Then she's got a ball joint with a lot more range of articulation between her torso and her lower area. It can swivel around from side to side. It can go in and out a lot, and it can rotate as well, giving her a very large range of motion in her torso area. Her legs can go out about that far, not quite 90 degrees. She's got the same sort of ball joint side, and her legs can move independently of it. Her legs can go forward about that far, definitely not 90 degrees. Back, really not at all. Single jointed knees, same sort of swivel above it. And their feet, as far as I can tell, they can only really go up and down. I can't really get them to rock or really rotate at all. Next, let's check these guys out compared to some other action figures. Starting off by comparing them with some other Terminator figures. Here's Sarah Connor next to the old McFarlane Toys Movie Maniacs Sarah Connor from Terminator 2. Here she is next to NECA's Ultimate Terminator 2 Judgment Day Sarah Connor. And this Sarah Connor figure definitely is very reminiscent. It reminds me of the Laurie Strode figure that NECA released from the 2018 Halloween film. They released this figure, I don't know, probably about 6 months ago. Pretty cool to have two older badass women taking up their old franchise and reenacting their old roles. Next, let's check out this T-800 compared to some other Terminator figures. Here he is with a couple of T-800 figures from Terminator 1. Here he is next to the Ultimate T-800 from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And here he is next to a couple of T-800s from Terminator Genesis. And then here's an Arnold head that I put onto a wrestling body So I could have the Governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger as the governor. And then here he is next to Arnold from the movie Commando. And then here he is next to all the different Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch figures from Predator. And then here he is next to all the different Arnold Schwarzenegger figures in my collection. And then here are both these figures next to my entire Terminator 1 collection. We've got the original Technor release, followed by the Ultimate Technor release. Then we've got the Terminator Dark Fate T-800 and Dark Fate Sarah Connor. Then we've got Kyle Reese. Then we've got the original Police Assault T-800 as well as the Ultimate version. And then here they are next to my entire Terminator 2 Judgment Day collection. On the bottom row, we've got the Neca T-800, followed by the Ultimate Neca T-800. Then, of course, we've got the two Terminator Dark Fate figures, then the McFarlane Sarah Connor, the Neca T2 Sarah Connor, and the Neca John Connor. On the second row at the top, as you can tell, I got a whole bunch of T-1000s to army build some police officers. We've got the McFarlane version, a bunch of Neca Galleria Mall cops, Steel Mill cops, motorcycle cops, Ultimate Motorcycle cops, Ultimate Galleria Mall cops. Then we've got the metal version, liquid nitrogen version, and Kenner versions of the T-1000. Some of these T-1000s may have the Terminator Genesis T-1000's head on it, but they're all the Terminator 2 T-1000 bodies. And now I don't have any figures from Terminator 3 or Terminator Salvation. I believe McFarlane did a couple of Terminator 3 figures. I'm not really aware of any Terminator Salvation figures that I think I would like in my 6 or 7 inch collection. There was a Terminator Salvation line. If there's anything I should check out, please let me know in the comments. I'd be extremely curious for a couple characters from that film, if possible. And here they are next to my Terminator Genesis collection. On the left-hand side, you can see I've got 3 of the T-800s, and I did the same idea, put some different heads on them, and got some other henchmen or regular people. Then we've got the Pops Terminator. In the center, we've got the 2 figures from Dark Fate. And on the right-hand side, we've got 4 of the Genesis T-1000 figures. When I found out they were making them, I was excited to be able to army build even more police. And then here's my entire Terminator Dark Fate collection. Neca had mentioned that they were going to release more figures if the line did well. And considering how the movie's being received, I'm not expecting them to make another wave of these figures, even though I would definitely gobble them up. Next, let's check them out compared to some other action figure lines to see how they fit in both scale and style-wise. Here they are next to some of their Neca brothers. These are 4 different Neca action figure lines from the same company. And then here are some various lines from DST or Diamond Select Toys action figures. And here they are next to some McFarlane Toys action figures. Here they are next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here they are next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here they are next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Here they are next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse action figures. Then here they are next to some Mafex figures. Then next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here they are next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. So overall, I'm going to say I like these action figures quite a bit. Not only as Terminator figures, but also as just sort of regular looking people, particularly the T-800. When I saw a picture of these figures way back when from NECA and it said, subject to possibly change, I thought they looked great back then and knew they'd come out pretty similar. I'm exceptionally impressed with the T-800's body. His clothing sculpt is just excellent. Works great for a henchman or regular person in my action figure world. Exactly what I was hoping for, and it delivered. If I were to rate these figures, I'd give the T-800 an 8 out of 10 and Sarah Connor a 7.5 out of 10. Both are terrific figures, home runs from NECA. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this review. If you like the review, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the review, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.